Seminole Wind is the title track and a big hit for John Anderson off of the album by the same name. That original track is pretty piano and fiddle heavy, so being a guitar website, we are going to do an arrangement that's a little more guitar heavy. Instead of the keyboard playing that opening line, we're going to do that as a solo acoustic section, and we're going to kind of pick the melody at the same time that we're playing the chords. The rest of the song for the acoustic guitar will be really straightforward, just 4 chords. E minor, G, D, and A major. And then on the electric guitar, we're going to basically replace all those prominent fiddle parts with an electric guitar part, which is going to give us some cool pedal steel style country picking to learn. We'll start by learning the chords, and then we're going to get into this introduction part that you hear, which is this kind of solo guitar section where we're going to pick out the melody while we're playing the chords, which is really optional on the original recording. That's done by the keyboard at the beginning and the end of the song. But we're going to learn it on the guitar. It's just kind of a fun little part that we're going to learn. After that, we'll already know the chords, so we'll learn the strumming, which is just those 4 chords with the same strum pattern through the whole song. So here's the chords. We're going to start with an E minor, just a standard big old E minor here, nice cowboy chords. Open low E string, 2nd fret of A, 2nd fret of D, open G, open B, open high E. Then we've got this G chord. And the G chord, I'm going to play it like this, nice open version, which is the 3rd fret of low E. We'll mute that A string, then we've got open D, G, B, and 3rd fret of high E. Got a standard D chord, which is open D string, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 2nd. And then the picking part is going to be all around those chords, except for the A at the end, and it looks like this. We'll start with this E minor shape, but we want this B string to ring out as the melody note. So I'm going to take really my middle or your ring finger on your right hand and mute the high E string so you can rake through this chord and let that B string ring out instead of the high E. Then we're just going to pick through starting on the A string. Go. Alright, in this tutorial we're going to go over the main lead lines that we hear in intros and outros in that bridge solo. These are the fiddle parts. Mainly have 2 passes over the chord progression that we're going to learn, although we will talk through some variations. For example, what we do at the beginning during this really soft part where it's just the electric and the acoustic playing together, we're going to try and mimic a pedal steel a little bit more. So I've got it on my neck pickup here. And we're going to be doing some volume swells with our pinky on a Telecaster here. You can just drop your pinky and swell up like that. If you don't have a Telecaster or a guitar where you can do that with your pinky, you could use the volume pedal. But anyway, in this first soft part, we're going to be mimicking a pedal steel more. Then we're going to flip over to our bridge pickup and just kind of rock it out a little bit more, okay? But the parts are very similar. So we start after the acoustic guitar does their first line. Then we come in with them and go. All right, let's get just that much. So we've got our volume all the way cranked up. We're gonna start on this 9th fret of G, slide up to 11, half bend. We got middle finger behind it. All right, in this tutorial, we're gonna go over all the kind of non-fiddle parts, all what we're doing over the verses and choruses. There's a little chorusy effect going on. I've got a little chorus on it on the jam along that you can hear in that original recording for the chords that we're doing and that kind of thing. So you can slap that on for these verses and choruses. We'll go kind of fast through the chordal work because it's pretty straightforward. Spend a little more time on the pedal steel riffs that we're going to pick up in the second verse. All right, I got on my bridge pickup here. Little delay, little reverb, not too much gain for these sections. And let's start with verse 1. We come through in verse 1, or we come in verse 1, excuse me, halfway through. And we're going to start backwards raking this, just a standard E minor. Again, this is all tabbed out right beneath the video player at 6-string country. We're just going to rake it like that. And then we're going to pick through the rest of these chords. We're going to get on a G chord, that's 3rd fret of low E, mute the A string, open D, open G, 3rd fret of B. And we're just going to pick right through. Low E string, D string, G string, B string, and then back to G. And then here's the rockin' intro. 1, 2, 3, go.